Hi, everybody.
Hello, I am Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
Today we're going to be talking to you about Horrified, but before we do, let's get into our pounds and inches segment.
Alright, so we are in week 2 of the Board Game Geek Weight Loss Challenge. This is a really great place for people who like board games and like to be talking about health and weight loss. All can get together and talk about board games and weight loss. It's a really great community. Everyone's super encouraging. Obviously, we're kind of in the middle of it now, but next time around, Season 8, which will probably be in January, if I had to guess, I would definitely recommend you guys check it out.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason as to why we've been doing as well as we have for as long as we have is because we've been doing it together. So we're going, we have good and bad moments as well, but we've been heading in the right direction for about 10 months now, and I think that's part of our success is that we're doing it together.
Yeah, that's a great place to kind of do it all together as a group.
But enough about that. Let's talk about Horrified. Horrified is a cooperative game where you are heroes trying to defeat the different monsters that are in your village. So you're all walking around trying to get what you need in order to defeat the different monsters. They all require different things. But we'll just have Ryan show you really quickly what that might look like.
So here is the board layout for Horrified. You have 6 monsters to choose from, and you can choose either 2, 3, or 4 of them at a time, depending on how much difficulty you want. Today, right now, we're showing you 2 of them, the Mummy, as well as Frankenstein and the Bride. Each monster has its own condition with which it's defeated. So, for instance, the Mummy that we have showing there has these little scarab tiles, in which you kind of have this puzzle where you move them around, trying to get them in the right order. The Frankenstein and the Bride have dials that you need to turn. The Wolfman has you cure the disease. So each monster has its own condition with which you have to defeat them. The more you have out there, the more difficult it is. At the beginning of the game, you're dealt out a character which has a certain amount of action points. In this case, we've got 4 here that we're working with. You can use those to move around, pick up items, do special abilities, and help work towards defeating the monsters. After your action phase, you do what's called the monster phase. So you pluck a card out of the monster deck, and it's going to do things like advance the monster's objectives, move them around, and have them fight you or some of these kind of other non-playable characters. So the other cards might bring them out. So it says place Malavia at the camp. So we place her out there, and now that's one more target for the monster to attack. At the top left of the board, we have this kind of terror track. If we ever have that many people attacked by the monster, 7 of them, we lose the game. You also lose the game by having the monster deck run out. So you basically have that amount of time to defeat all the monsters that you have out there. So these monster cards are also going to have us get more of the tiles out of the bag to random draw whatever item is listed, or whatever location is listed on the bottom of the item, you place that on the board. It gives us more items to pick up and use to defeat the monsters. So also, these characters, these little non-playable characters, have locations that they're trying to get to. So little Marie is trying to get to the camp. If we're able to get her there successfully before the end of the game, or before she's attacked by a monster, we get to draw from this perk deck. So you get extra benefits, extra movement, extra actions, all different things you can get from that perk deck that allows you to advance your game. So the game's going to end one of a few different ways. Either if we get all the way up on the terror track, we lose, or if we run out of the monster deck, we lose. We win if we're able to defeat all of the monsters. They have a phase 1 and a phase 2 of defeating them. Once we've defeated them, all the monsters that are out there, we win the game.
One of the things to note about this game is the fact that it's really simple to teach. It's a pretty simple game, but it's not necessarily easy. But the fact that it is simple means it can appeal to a large variety of people.
Yeah, I even done this to our 6-year-old. I mean, I did a lot of the bookkeeping between rounds, but as far as her turns, I let her do everything, and she did great. But I really like about this game those kind of non-playable characters. I call them, they're the villagers. I really like the challenge they offer. You have this kind of opportunity, this reward of getting them where they need to go. But also, if you leave them hanging, you have the risk of them getting defeated and upping that terror track. So kind of you have to weigh and measure, do I stop what I'm doing to kind of save them, or do I go ahead and try to get that card that might help me out as well. I like that challenge.
I like the different monsters in here and how you defeat them all differently. So it's not like for this monster, you're just trying to collect blues and you're trying to collect yellows for this monster, but you're trying to do different things. You need different numbers. You need different sets. And I really enjoy that. It really makes it a different experience when you play it.
I really like Pandemic. And this game for me is a game that around this time of year is going to be a Pandemic replacement. Something of that similar weight as far as the base Pandemic game. Really family friendly. Has that nice kind of a spooky October feel to it. And I really like that about this.
I do think that this game could potentially get old, but I also see that this game could have a ton of expansion potential with that base mechanic of it. You could have different maps, you could have different monsters. I really hope they do more with it because I did enjoy it.
Yeah, so that's our thoughts on Horrified. I'm a big fan of it. I think that it's going to be a big hit for families every October and other times too. But when I see it getting talked about a lot.
I think there's games out there that people talk about a lot because of the hype, and it's just what they're talking about. But some of those...
Tapestry!
Bless you!
Oh, thank you.
But I also think that there's some games that people talk about a lot, and the reason why is because they're good. And I feel like this falls under the good category.
All right, so don't forget, we've got more spooky reviews coming out all October long. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews, so you don't miss out on any of those. We're also on Facebook at Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. We have our Instagram page at Ryan and Bethany. We have our Twitter page at Ryan and Bethany 1. And we also have our blog on BoardGameGeek.com, called Pounds and Inches, where we talk more about our health journey and what's going on there.
All right, well, this is Ryan, and I'm Bethany, encouraging you to play games, live healthy, and create moments. Bye, guys. Everyone.